What should teenagers these days really start paying attention to as they're about to turn 18? Traffic rules. Please, take it the frick seriously. Having been driving for about 20 years now, most of the accidents I've seen have been from people following too close. Leave space between you and the car in front of you. You don't realize how fast traffic can stop until it happens and you're halfway through the trunk of the car in front of you. Also, if you brake hard and avoid a collision, the car behind you may be following too close and you get rear-ended. Also, I've seen more than once a car dodge a piece of debris or a stopped car and the person railing too close behind doesn't see it until the other car has merged over and bam. There's really no good reason to tailgate. If someone is tailgating me, I tend to slow down, which is the opposite of what they're probably hoping to achieve. But now I need enough car lengths for me and them. Don't be afraid to make mistakes, but don't risk mistakes that will severely compromise the rest of your life. What I see, across cultures and countries, is an enormous pressure to be perfect, so high that no one can ever possibly meet the pressure. So, people make mistakes, as they should. The problem is that the pressure to be perfect makes all mistakes seem the same. Risk losing some money, risk making relationship mistakes, risk losing friends, risk losing a year. Those are fine. Don't risk 6 figures of debt, which means student loans without a degree, good major, and good GPA to show for it. College is a great investment if you also put the time and effort in to succeed. Don't risk disease. Don't risk death. Don't risk pregnancy. Don't risk drug addiction. Don't risk a felony conviction. Take the kinds of risks your 25-year-old self will laugh at. Don't take the kinds of risks your 25-year-old self will curse you for saddling them with. Basically, don't make a mistake that you can't get yourself out of if you need to. Be social, but remember friends will come and go. Don't invest in people that won't invest in you. Yep, get ready for your friend circle to shrink by half or more. And that's okay, because your adult friends will be, hopefully, much healthier and happier for you than your teenage friends. Smoking. Started with cigs so I could take breaks at work. Construction. 22 now and can't quit vaping. It sucks. Curious. What field of construction do you work? Was doing HVAC work at the time, doing rough-ins. We weren't allowed any breaks, even lunch breaks, but if we smoked we got breaks. If I remember right, my state is a right-to-work state. Learn some basic cooking. Learn how to wash clothes, hang them up, do ironing, etc. You may be moving out soon, so practice the skills you will need. Imagine all the things you would have to do if mom and dad weren't around. Then start practicing them. Draw up a budget. Look at how much to rent in the place you want to live. Add in food and electric and mobile phone and internet. Don't forget to add bond too. What's bond? In the UK, to rent a house you need the first month's rent and a bond. It's a stack of cash that your new landlord holds onto and keeps forever if you so much as put a nail in his walls. If you move out and are lucky enough to have kept everything ship-shape, then you may just get it back. In the US we call it a security deposit. We do in the UK too. I've never, ever heard it referred to as a bond. Taxes. How to vote. How to write emails. I've had to teach several first years at my university how to do this. I get a lot of emails from customers at work. Trust me, plenty of people well over 30 don't know how to write emails. How you organize a day without the structure of school. That planned environment is going away fast and some of your peers are really going to struggle with finding their pace and motivation. Also, procrastination is a bitch. Procrastination and drugs don't mix. The only decent criticism of weed I've heard is not fake health reasons, but because it makes you happy. Content. For a lot of people it can mean procrastinating or losing your drive to do things even if they're good for you. Obviously weed isn't the sole cause of procrastination, but it can compound the issue. Listen to your desires and dreams. I'm 28. My goals and dreams now are vastly different than when I was 18. Listen to those changes. For a long time I kept chasing a dream almost because I felt I owed it to my younger self. It's okay for your dreams to change as you age and your circumstances change. Who you are now will not be the same person you are at 23. And as you grow, listen to your internal monologue. Dreams and desire change. Grow with them. Piggybacking off of this, make sure there are some hobbies you really enjoy, and preferably some of which you can do alone, at home. Don't rely on other people for entertainment. Holy smokes this. I grew up with a few really good friends. Since then we've all went our separate ways. We still keep in touch, but it took me a good 2.5 years to figure out how to keep myself entertained. I fished my whole life, and played guitar for a lot of it. Stuff I've always done with other people though. I hated doing it alone for a while, but anymore it's my favorite thing to do. Taking care of your physical and mental health before you fall into the trap of "I don't have time for it." Really sit down and think about how you can better yourself for your own sake, especially physical injuries. High school, I broke a bone, check out my cool cast. Adult, I broke a bone, how the hell am I going to drive to work? Authorized user is sort of a cheat code in the credit world. If your parents have decent credit and take care of it, see if they'll make you an AU on a card and then lock the card up in a box. Being AU makes the credit history of the account show up on your credit report. If financial responsibility is a big deal in your house, this can have some major advantages when you're trying to get started. You are now risking real jail time. What were once just shenanigans, kids will be kids, are potentially things that will haunt you for a really long time. Yep, shoplifting is a good example. At age 12 you get in a little trouble. At 18 you are going to county for 30 days, and that can have ripple effects for years. I don't think you're likely to spend a month in jail for shoplifting unless it's a large amount, but you will have a record that's worse than a month in jail. A record that can automatically disqualify you from certain types of work and jeopardize school funding. Relationships. As soon as you hit 18, things start becoming real. Don't get married without being sure of your future spouse. Don't go unprotected during sex. Don't get into a relationship where your other half will get you in trouble with the law, especially the unprotected ex part. I'm freaking up in all sorts of ways now without being a parent. I can't imagine what it'd be like adding a kid to the mix. The easiest way to frick yourself is to frick someone else without protection. Your data trail online. Old Instagram and Facebook posts can come back and haunt you during future interviews. Yeah, do a spring clean and nuke everything. In some jurisdictions, Europe, maybe California, you can have things purged under privacy laws. How? You can send a GDPR takedown request if you're European by posting on Facebook. I do not consent to Facebook using my pictures and statuses. Trust me, my dad's a lawyer. Learn how to take care of yourself. Take full responsibility for everything that is happening in your life. Create big goals and have a life purpose if you have one. Focus on saving money and don't buy stupid to impress people you don't even like. A big thing you should learn along with having goals and a purpose is to be flexible. It happens sometimes and you gotta know it's okay for plans to change. Delete social media accounts if you can't keep it in your pants, literally and figuratively. Getting it together. 18 isn't the age you should be thinking you're a full-blown adult. Nah, you need to venture into the 20s for that. But between 18 and 21, you just gotta get your together. No matter what it is, financial, mental, physical, just do whatever it takes to make sure you can fully prosper from stressed out teen to a battle-hardened grown-up. Don't be afraid to walk away from a job, person that's toxic. Start saving now, so you can walk away. Community college is your best friend. Go there before doing the last 2 years at a 4-year. Trade schools are just as viable. Ain't no shame in being debt-free at 22 making 60 plus. 35% of all income should go to retirement starting now. Go open a Roth 401k. Develop healthy habits now. Proper nutrition, a steady sleep schedule, regular exercise, etc. You are in a fantastic position to build a healthy lifestyle that will elevate your quality of life for the rest of it. It is much harder to change existing unhealthy habits that have been established for years. Most people aren't able to. Give yourself the best chance for a lifetime of health and happiness now. The first few years of your early 20s will fly. You'll one day wake up and be like, I'm 25. I'm halfway to 50. And one day you'll wake up and your back will hurt. For no reason. Credit cards. Networking for job prospects. Seriously, just getting out and building a social network can help so much, especially if you're networking in the same field as you're going into. I always thought the saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, was stupid as frick until I became an adult and saw really stupid people land good jobs just because they knew someone. If you're plagued with debt and existential dread, please consider these at the bare minimum. Clean your teeth twice a day with a extra soft brush plus fluoride toothpaste. Hard brushes are inefficient in cleaning small crevices and are prone to sanding away your enamel. Floss too. Apply physical sunscreens containing titanium, zinc oxide for any amount of sun exposure. Chemical sunscreens are effective, but will cause tanning and pose a higher risk of free radical damage. Keep hydrated by leaving full water bottles around your desk or workspace. Turn it into a routine rather than an exception. Incorporate legumes, whole grains, and vegetables into your diet. Otherwise, the constipation will force you to spend more time on the toilet and lend a higher risk of anal prolapse, hemorrhaging, other declines in quality of life. Get those Z's, bro. Chronic sleep deprivation will shorten your life expectancy and predispose you to depression and anxiety. Hug your heckin' pet for that free oxytocin. I personally say student loans. Don't major in a field where your student loans equal twice as much as your starting salary. Medical, law may be exempt,